Hello and welcome to the Congo Hour. My name is Trippy. Wayna isn't here this evening. She is a little under the weather, so we want to wish her well. Hope that she feels better soon. So if you know her number or if you want to hit her up on Facebook, just go ahead and send her your well wishes. Tonight we have our funeral announcements. We have some community news. We have our birthday shout-outs, and then we have 2 or 3 interviews. There's a young lady named Janelle who is supposed to come to talk about an upcoming play. Pastor D is here. He's going to talk about the rash of violence that we have been experiencing here in the city and some solutions. So we definitely want you to stay tuned to that so you can be a part of the solutions. And then we have one of my best friends in the whole wide world here. She is coming to talk about DAB mediations and Every Man Counts, and an event that is coming up on Wednesday.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, best friend.
Thank you, best friend.
You want to introduce yourself and let everybody know why you're here?
Sure. My name is Ajoavi. I am the CEO of DAB Mediation Consultant and also Every Man Counts. We're having a guest bartending event on Wednesday, the 25th, at Lavish Nightclub. And Trippy is one of our bartenders.
That's right.
So we're trying to raise funds for our programming for fathers and children.
Okay. And tell me about DAB Mediations.
DAB Mediation is a mediation firm that deals with child support, custody, divorce, people who are going through divorces and so forth. We do corporate mediation, we do landlord-tenant mediation, we do collaborative divorce mediation with attorneys. Out of that, out of DAB spun Every Man Counts.
Okay.
Every Man Counts is basically for fathers who came into my office during mediation who really didn't know what the situation was all about.
Right.
All they knew was they had to come in for mediation. They didn't know why. And they were so perplexed. They didn't know their rights. They didn't know their responsibilities in court, anything. So I decided, you know what, let me try and help these fathers. Because there's no other resources out there for fathers, you know, single fathers, divorcing fathers, fathers who are coming out of jail to reunify with their children, to understand the child support calculation, to understand the differences between custody and visitation. There was nothing out there. So I decided to do that.
So I guess most organizations and businesses are geared towards the mother or the lady, right? Okay.
Yes.
So tell us the difference between, what's mediation?
Mediation is basically a conversation between 2 parties.
Okay.
And basically it's a win-win outcome. Because the parties are now sitting down with a neutral person, myself or another mediator, and we try to navigate the conversation where both parties can come up with an agreement as what's in the best interest of their child or children or their situation.
Okay.
So it becomes a win-win versus litigation. Litigation, someone's going to win, someone's going to lose. Because when you go into court, the judges are the ones that are going to make the decision regarding the outcome of your case. But in mediation, you're making the decision regarding the outcome of your case.
And does that happen over several meetings usually, or is it usually one meeting?
Mediation is basically, we pretty much go by your time.
Okay.
Mediation, you can resolve it in 1 meeting, you can resolve it in 2 meetings, you can resolve it in 3 meetings.
Okay.
It depends on you. So we go according to your time and your pace.
Okay.
It's not a rushed process because we want all the parties to walk out of there satisfied.
Right. So you have this event coming up on Wednesday.
Yes.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's a fundraiser for
our programs that we run throughout the year for Every Man Counts.
Okay.
The programs for our fathers and their children are free of charge. That's why we raise funds.
Okay.
We have several programs. We have our upcoming barbershop conversation, which our first one is February 19th. It's going to be at the African Barbershop on Market Street.
Okay.
And
right on 20th? Right on 20th?
Yes.
Okay.
And this year, we heard everybody what they had to say last year. This year, we have a new addition. We have a beauty shop conversation.
Okay.
And that's going to start in March. And we're really excited because we heard from so many mothers last year that liked the information that we provided at the barbershop conversation. Now they want to have that same dialogue in their beauty shops, you know, and questions being asked and they want to know what's true and what's not. And then after that, our barbershop, beauty shop conversation lasts until July, and then we have the end of the summer fun, like a co-parenting gathering. We have father and daughter tea parties. This is our second year, and I'm very excited because we're going to have it at Stubbs Elementary, and we're expecting at least 200 people.
That sounds nice.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
Father and daughter tea party. It's so beautiful. This is our second year, and we have an etiquette coach that comes in. So we work with Posh and Perfect. They're event planning company. And they put the best tea parties together, because if you know, a lot of young women in the African American community, or low income community, has never experienced that. When we did it last year, we had kids from 2 years old all the way up to 16 years old that had never experienced a tea party before. And this tea party was so nice. They dressed up. They taught them how to hold their teacups and pour their teas. And their fathers actually, you know, pull their chairs out. They sat down, pour their teas for them. And then we had a dance. So we're expecting at least 200 people at Stubbs Elementary. And that's all free of charge.
When is that again?
That's going to be April 9th. That's going to be April 9th at Stubbs Elementary. And then we have other events throughout the year. But we have Daddy Does My Hair. We have a group of men that we teach how to do their daughter's hair.
For that.
It's so much fun. We did that last year, and I never thought that putting a ponytail on a little girl's head would be so difficult for fathers. It was difficult, but it was fun because that's time they get to spend with their children, you know. And then we do the cooking healthy with dads. We teach fathers how to cook healthy on a budget. So we have a chef that comes in that's been through the program, and he's a reentry dad. So he dedicates his time to our cooking with dads. He teach fathers how to cook healthy with their children on a budget, and we eat really good. I love that event. I think that's one of my most favorite. But yeah, we do like other events. We have our big end of the year fishing events where we take fathers and their children fishing at North Bay Adventure Camp. This is all expense paid, and they have a wonderful time. Wonderful time. Last year they went kayaking, canoeing, boating. We took the kids on the Chesapeake. Then we had a father and son basketball game, and the fathers won. So, and we want to continue that. But I love helping fathers, teaching them the different ways of being a father, because my motto is, and with Every Man Count, is better dads, better lives. You know,
so true.
It is. Once you have a better father who knows what to do, your life will be better.
How can people help you out with your programs?
We're looking, yes, we, donation. Every dime helps, because we don't want a father to make an excuse that I cannot afford it, so therefore I won't be able to participate. We haven't had that problem yet, and I thank God. Our number one biggest supporter is Stubbs Elementary, and now Congo Funeral Home. But I mean, the thing is, they can go online to our website, which is www.dabmediations.com, and make a donation there. Or they can go on our email and send some information. Is info@dabmediations.com. So either way, they're more than welcome to participate. And please come out on Wednesday at Lavish, which is from 5 to 8. 100% of the cash tips come to Every Man Counts, and 15% of the credit card tips comes to us as well. So we need all the support we can get. I know there's not many things out there for fathers like we have. We want to collaborate. If you have any, anything, please. We're looking for collaboration. Our biggest thing is trying to help the community. Do
you need volunteers?
For Wednesday, I think we're covered for volunteers, but please, if anybody want to come out to volunteer, come out and volunteer.
What about for the events throughout the year?
Yes, we do. Throughout the year, we definitely need volunteers. Our barbershop conversation, like I said, on the 19th of February, we're having an African barbershop. So we need volunteers for that, because the crowd, it gets a little bit much, and I have a very small team. So volunteer is really welcome. And for our father and daughter tea party in April, we're definitely going to need volunteers because we're expecting, like I said, 200 people because we're partnering with Stubbs and Head Start to do this.
We also have your number on the screen, the 272-0678, so they
Yes,
can call you.
they're more than welcome to call us.
Okay, for more information.
Yes, they are. They can call us.
Okay. So Wednesday, what are the times again?
5 to 8. You're more than welcome to stay after 8 o'clock.
All right.
We're going to have non-alcoholic beverages and some really... So everyone is welcome. So don't think because you don't drink you can't come. So please come. We're going to have food. We're going to have, you know, it's a fun time. Last year we had so much fun. Yeah. So much fun. So we want to do.
And where is Lavish?
Lavish is on North Union Street. I think it's 1206 North Union Street.
Yeah, right next to the Audi dealer.
Yes, right next to the Audi dealer, next to Michelangelo's. Yes,
Santa Fe.
And Santa Fe. You can't miss it. You cannot miss it.
Okay.
Yes.
Like you said, I'll be there bartending, so I'm going to serve some non-alcoholic and some. So come out for a great time and a great cause.
Yes,
I really appreciate everything that you're doing in our community, Aja.
Definitely.
And
Thank you.
You know, just keep up the great work.
I appreciate you. I appreciate people like you who support us.
Yeah, we
really
have
do.
to. We have to, especially for, like the cause that you have taken upon yourself just to do it, helping men. You saw the need, and I know you have a business, but then you just do this just to encourage men to be a part of their children's lives.
It's like rewarding in itself. Like I always love it. Like I was telling my team around Christmas, we got a text, 3 texts actually, 1 from a mom and 2 from 2 fathers who were like, you know, one father had been fighting for a year. We've been working with him for a year. He got sole custody of his daughter. Another one who didn't even have visitation. His visitation was only on Sunday afternoon. Sunday was the only day. So he met the child, picked the child up at 12, had to drop the child back off at 6.
Wow.
Now he has the child Saturday overnight to Sunday every weekend. So like I said, baby steps.
I don't know if you can even get into it, but why would that was court ordered, the visitation just for 6 hours? Like why would that happen? Like,
good question. My thing is, you know, with that specific situation, mom had all these attorneys that wanted to prove that dad was a bad father.
Okay.
And they couldn't. They couldn't. But in the meantime, you have to prove that you can be the father that you need to be.
Right.
Because he was absent out of his child's life for a while. And I tell a lot of my fathers, if you've been absent, it's hard to just jump right back in.
Right.
You have to take baby steps. So when he got the one-day visitation, he wasn't really pleased. But I told him, I said, show them that you can do this one day.
Right.
6 months. After that 6 months, now he has the child every weekend, Saturday to Sunday.
Okay.
And now we're working on doing a week. So you have to prove to the court that you're doing what you're supposed to do. Documentation, do what you're court ordered to do. Do not deviate from it without permission from the mom or dad. Because I have a lot, like the mom that called me, she texted us and said she has now have custody of her son because dad had the child.
Okay.
But dad was in and out of jail, and dad had left the child with a paramour. And she didn't know where the child was. She didn't get her life together. So when she came to us, you know, I mean, my thing is I believe in everybody,
Right.
especially if you want to be with your children. If I believe that I can help you, I'll help you. And we helped her get her life together. She got a job. You know, we didn't get her a job, but we gave her a couple of leads.
Right.
She got a job. Now she has a child. You know, at first she didn't have anything. So, you know, every situation is different. And I tell people that same thing with child support. Every situation is different.
Right.
People say, well, he only paid $100. Why do I have to pay $500? You can't look at that. You have to look at your income. We go by individual income. So we try to teach fathers that child support is basically a reimbursement of what mom or dad has already put up. So if you're taking care of a child and you're the primary custodial parent, you're paying more than what you will receive in child support for that child well-being throughout the year or throughout the month. So I educate my fathers and mothers, and I say that loosely, that child support is basically a reimbursement. So don't think that because you see mom with her hair done, her nails done, she's driving a nice car, that your child is not being taken care of. You know, you have to understand, she has to pay rent, she has to buy food, she has to buy clothes, but she has to also live.
Right.
You know, vice versa, same thing with him. I have moms now that are on the other spectrum saying, well, what is he doing with the child support money? You know, he's paying for his girlfriend here. And I'm like, no, you got to understand. He's
Right.
already taking care of the child, you know. So that's what we teach them. And a lot of them will walk out. Not everybody. I'm not going to say 100% of my clients are happy with learning
Right.
their responsibilities. But majority of them are very happy when they learn what their responsibilities are and how to perceive and how to move on in court.
Okay.
You know, so
All right. Well, thank you again, Aja, BFF.
yes.
And we'll see
He's
you
gonna
on
keep saying that
on
'cause he knows
Wednesday.
I'm mad at him.
That's right. We'll see you on Wednesday, 5 to 8.
Yes.
Lavish, right on Union Street, next to the Winter Audi dealership across from Santa Fe. You'll see you come out for a great cause and come give me some tips. All that you're not giving them to me, you'll give them to a great cause.
Thank you.
All right.
Yes.
Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with Pastor D. Hello, and welcome back to the Congo Hour. I hope that you enjoyed my first interview with Every Man Counts and Mediations. Right now we have someone who is no stranger to the show, no stranger to the city of Wilmington. Matter of fact, he's one of our champions. Pastor D is here, and he also has little Pastor D with him.
Delano.
So he's
Say hi
checking
to the
himself
people
out.
out there. He's looking at himself. They out here, son.
You got to see what's going on.
Uh-huh.
So Pastor D called me up this afternoon. I'm very concerned, as I know all of us are, just about the rash of the violence that has taken place since
Right.
this month, and the homicides and the shootings.
Yeah.
So he wanted to come on just to talk about some of his solutions. So of course,
Yeah.
like I said before, you're always welcome.
Yeah.
Because I believe that you're a man who can help our city.
Yeah.
You have a very unique relationship with the city of
With the
Wilmington.
street.
Right. And
That part.
Right. And a lot of people can say what they want, but they can't take that from you.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, you've been blessed to have that type of relationship.
Yeah.
And something
God.
that we have to take full advantage of. So I just wanted you to come on and just talk about. We can just talk
Thank
about
you.
Whatever you want to talk about.
And first, thank you, Tripp, for giving me an opportunity to come on really and talk about it. But I know you care as much as I do. We're from here.
Right.
This is our home. And the truth is, there is a citywide, nationwide, but right now, citywide emergency on our hands.
I've never seen anything. I can't remember a month like this since.
Never.
Right.
Not even during the Williams administration.
Yeah.
And it's nobody's fault in particular,
Right.
but I'm here because there's some confidential communications, some of which you've read, and
Right.
because you're a city council person, I could share it with you, where there are going to be some more murders in the next couple of days if certain actions aren't taken. And what you read, I see all the time. There's a shooting, and then there's a retaliation plan, and then there's an innocent person that shot, and 3 days later, and a lot of the murders are connected that way. And there are solutions. I'm here tonight to appeal to everyone under the sound of my voice, just to be very transparent and honest with you about something I believe is the most important thing you can do between now and tomorrow evening. And that is that you would call or tweet or email our mayor, he's my mayor as well as yours, Mike Persicki, and ask him or demand of him that there be an emergency meeting of the mayor, Chief Cummings of the Wilmington Police, Captain Fahim Akil, and Ebony Madre of the Focus program, Stop the Murders on the Street. Now, here's why. Remember with me, if you will, about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, the murders went down. They almost stopped. They were going down ever since the initiation of a program that the chief of police found in North Carolina and that I directed. Now, those murders went down as a direct result of how this particular program worked. It was designed, tailor-made for the city of Wilmington. Guns were taken out of the hands of young people. I'm talking about machine guns, handguns that were active on the street, shotguns. And Captain Fahim would take them into the police department. Gang warfare, beef squashings were done. A lot of things were happening. I was not in the press about it, and we were not public about it because it was necessary for us to be confidential to get things done. Just before the administration took over, I looked for and found Mayor Pasicki. And I said to him, Mike, after I apologized for all that we had been through in the past, I said, Mike, please have your transition team meet with us, because if you do not, the shootings, I'm afraid, are going to go back up. This program is working. He said, I'll look into it. I then went to see Matt Myers, who visited my church 4 or 5 times, and I shared the same information with him. He said, I promise you we're going to look into it. Well, to this date, there's been no such look. I've emailed, I interviewed with WDEL. So I've come to say to you out there tonight, I know that, and this is the transparent part, many people have been disappointed in me because of, in my personal life, I've made mistakes. I've sinned against God, committed adultery, hurt my wife and family, made mistakes. And as a result, many people, preachers and others have judged and choose not to work with me. However, the gift that God gave me to keep our kids alive is something he gave me, and I never stopped. After Bishop Weeks helped me for many months to repent, and my wife and I, we celebrate 7 years tomorrow marriage, then I went right back to work. I repented. I haven't been that person for many, many months. I haven't been the old Pastor D who comes on TV and says bad things about people. In fact, I've been working without being the head of the parade. But the truth is, the judgment that's being heaped on me is keeping people who are in a position to help from doing the right thing. When I spoke to the mayor, I said, you don't have to give me a job. You don't have to make me the program director. Let me train. Let us teach someone else to do what we're doing. Today, I received at least 3 emails, texts, one you saw from different families. My son did this shooting. There are people who are sitting outside right now of people's houses while I'm on here looking for people to shoot because of hurt and anger and rage. When these things happen, here's how the murders went down. We had an office at Hicks Anderson that Mayor Williams gave me as part of the program. If there was a beef or a disagreement or some issue between elements on the street, they could come there and share it, because most of these guys really don't want to shoot, but they have this street image they feel like they got to shoot. They would come to Hicks Anderson confidentially. We would get the groups in there, and you didn't know this, but we were squashing a lot of beefs over there at Hicks Anderson. We would follow up because I showed you a letter that the chief of police wrote to the schools, and wherever they went to school, we would show up at that school and engage the entire class of students that were in that class with those people on the street in a crime prevention, violence prevention program related to the one in the street. Those who were determined to do the violence or stay in the gang, we took them to an undisclosed location where the chief of police and the other police officers would get in their face and say, listen, since you don't want to go this way, we're going to go the other way, and you're going to be taken off the street, and you'll spend your life in prison. Guess what? It worked. It worked. The murders went down. They almost stopped. I'm ashamed that I've done anything to fail anybody to the point where you would not allow me or anybody else. This is not about money for me. I was paid $6,000 to direct this program by the city of Wilmington. My contract is right here. I make more than that preaching all over the country. It wasn't for money. It was because the people I funeralize, the children who are being murdered, are the sons, grandsons, brothers, and fathers of people I grew up with. It hurts. And so I ask you, contact Mayor Pasicki and say to him, meet with the program that Mayor Williams started that was working, and allow these people to at least train other people. There are a lot of people that can do what I did and do, but if they don't know, we don't have to have another study. We don't have to throw our hands up and say, oh, it's not going to work. How can one person make a difference? Well, the Bible is replete of examples of men who God anointed one person to do a certain thing and end a whole plague. And God anointed that person even though it was somebody that the people didn't like. Well, the people on the street, they don't care about my past mistakes. They just want help. There will be more and more killing if we don't refrain from judging one another. I say to my fellow pastors, this solution, it worked. It will work again. You say, Pastor D, why don't you go out there, since there's a gift from God, and do the work yourself? It only works if police, government, school, and we work together. When I go to take a gun, for instance, and we got the guns off the street, I didn't carry the guns to the police station myself. The devil is a lie. Y'all know I've been to jail before. Captain Fahim retrieved those guns and took them. If the person had a record, the Attorney General's office worked with us, and we went in and sat down with the person. I'm telling you, it was a comprehensive program that will work. And no mayor and no one else should be able to sleep at night if they know I have something in my city that works, but I will not use it because I do not respect or like the person who's running it. Today, somebody contacted me. I shared the text with Trippy and said, Pastor D, people are going to kill my mom if they don't get up with my relative who they think killed their relative. That's how bad it is. I could do something about that. This is my son. If I should die out there trying to keep yours alive, will you say to him, we have no money to bury your dad? Please, y'all, write the mayor, call the mayor, demand of the mayor, put the program back on the street that was there months ago and allow these people, if you don't want Pastor D, allow him to train somebody. We've got to do this trip or more people will die. And I need to apologize to you, bro, even though you've never acted vindictively or angry toward me. Some months ago, might even been a year ago, I forget, caught up in that old politics stuff. I said something and put your name in it on the computer on a Facebook text. And you didn't deserve that at all. You just didn't, man. You ain't never shown me nothing. And those things, I think about them. But when somebody has repented and changed, don't turn away the help that God has sent you. God brought me out of prison to do this. This was a gift. All of my children, no matter how they were born, I support them, I own them, and I love them. The state of Delaware is not paying for my kids. I am. So I ask you, look past the hate. Pastors, look past the other stuff and help me to help people and demand of the mayor to put this program back on the street because there's nothing out there now and you see the results.
right, man, I appreciate it. And I definitely accept your
Thank
apology,
you,
brother.
Trip.
All right, you know, it's
Thank
never,
you,
never
man. I
any hard
love you
feelings for
here.
us.
Hey, say hi to Mom before we go. She's out here. Look over there. Say hi, Mommy.
All right, so again, we're going to ask you to contact
The mayor's
Persicki,
office
yeah,
and
mayor's
Mike
office.
Persicki, and it's the focus program that Chief Cummings had put on the street. This is my last hope, y'all. Please do this,
Okay.
and let's save lives.
Is there a contact number for the like for your group, somebody people can call and talk to just to get more information about it?
Well, I can be reached at Joshua Harvest Church, but
Okay.
when the program ended,
Uh-huh.
my office over at Hicks Anderson, I believe, was closed.
Okay.
But Captain Fahim,
Excuse me.
y'all know Fahim.
Yeah.
He's available to you. You can talk to me, but the one phone call you should make, you should have enough information. You know me. You know what God has empowered me to do. Don't you even care? Don't wait till somebody you love dies cold in the street. Let's work together.
All right. You should come down to one of the city council meetings too and talk in front of all of us. Just to
I'll
kinda-
do that.
So that message can be repeated on Channel 22, yes, so all of us on city council can get to hear it.
I'll do that if it'll help.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, brother.
Love you, Trip.
Love you too. We're going to take a, what's up, buddy? We're going to take a little quick break, and I'll be right back with our funeral announcements.